looking good, Italian job.
Feeling good, Tommy boy. I haven't talked to you in ages. I feel like I haven't seen that beautiful face in so long.
Oh,
It's
shucks.
it's it's kind of nice being back. But hey, before we get too deep into this, tell me about this 7-minute plank I saw on the FaceTube machine yesterday.
Yeah, we had good old times. Like you said, it's what we train for, question mark.
Yeah.
Uh, Out here at Peace Haven, we get to experience shared living with our what we call our core members, the folks who are at the core of our mission. We had lunch together, and somebody threw down. They were asking about F3, and somebody threw down the plank challenge, and so we lined up and got after it. Yours truly was fortunate enough to maintain for 7 minutes, which is, it is what it is. I'm not going to say it's great. I'm not going to say it's weak. It was what I could do at that time. I think anymore we would have bored anybody to tears, but I had a great time, and it's fun to engage with folks and. Out here at Peace Haven, it's people of all abilities, and it sounds a lot like a credo that comes to mind, right? So
You got that right. Dig it, man.
I
Awesome.
dig it. Yeah, and you had a blast in Florida. It was fun to follow you. Major FOMO. Just old sad clown Tommy boy sitting at home, wishing I could be with my buddy IJ. But yeah, tell us about that real quick.
Awesome. The Sandlot Jacks. This was the second one that Go Ruck has sponsored over the last 2 years. So I got to go down with some awesome studs. Dark Helmet was with us. Tinsel out of Fort Mill, Battlebot, and Olaf, the Nation Snowman. We all clown card down and met with another 25 or so guys from around the nation, guys from Tallahassee, from Jacksonville, from the coastal empire. So guys all over. We had 30 guys at the workout Saturday morning. And then we just took our time going through the different adventures, the 5K, 10Ks, the ruck challenges, the obstacle course races, listening to some incredible speakers. It was just a great experience to be around like-minded individuals. You could put a ruck down with $100 bill pinned to it and come back, and the $100 bill and the ruck would still be there because no one steals from each other when you're part of the family. And it was just a great experience. Next year when it comes around, I highly recommend it. It's just a fitness experience down in sunny Jacksonville, Florida. Had a wonderful time. Got to spend some time with some studs. Big shout out to a handful of guys. I gotta definitely say Bada Bing, one of those guys that just, if you can spend time around a guy like Bada, that's a victory in itself. And Angus, those two guys, you want to talk about sharpening iron. Try to keep up with those studs and see if you just don't advance towards something great. So awesome dudes, great weekend. Glad to be home, but it's glad to be back on the podcast. I missed last week, so I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Omaha, tip of the cap to those guys. 5-year anniversary, 225 plus guys rolled up on that Saturday. Just impressive. Proud to know them. Honored to be in the same organization as those men who are changing lives. And speaking of which, nice segue here into today's topic. If I remember correctly, one of my first exposures to how big this idea of free to lead segueing into impact in the community could look like, it's this organization today. So we'll dive right into it and give them the reins to run away. We're talking Speed for Need today. We've got two guys within the organization, again, in my early days, just seeing it expand and grow with, I don't want to say the simple act, but a very straightforward, no duh kind of moment of, hey, everybody should be able to participate on every level in these events that we're enjoying as we accelerate in our fitness. And so Speed for Need saw the opportunity to have a lot of fun, changing a lot of lives as well. So that being said, we're going to start left to right on my screen, and that means Pizza Man. Hospital name, age, F3 name, and how'd you wind up with that handle?
Okay, well, first of all, appreciate y'all having us on. Hospital name's Chad Holder, 41, Pizza Man. The way I became Pizza Man was pretty tough question. What's your favorite food? I said pizza. Said pizza, man. So it came with Pizza Man. A lot of people ask if I was a delivery guy or something like that, but no, it's just I said pizza, man. So,
Outstanding.
Sometimes at the end of a workout, we're not very bright. We used all the brain cells to just survive, and knowing some of the guys in the gas house and how hard they push it.
That was Whoopi.
Oh, well,
gas house. Shout out.
That makes sense. I love that guy. Well, let's do the same thing. Let's transition over to Jack Bauer. I got to hear this story. So, hospital name, F3 handle, Jack Bauer. How'd you get it? That kind of stuff. Tell us your story.
All right. Yeah, man. Scott Lewenia, 46, Jack Bauer. It started in February of 2019 in my first workout at one of our larger AOs. There was a lot of F and Gs there that day, so I think that's what kind of led to to the quick naming. But they were just asking, what do you do for a living? I work for the federal government. They're like, well, what do you do? And I'm like, well, I've been working counterterrorism for the last 10 or 12 years. And they're like, Jack Bauer, next. And I was like, wait a minute.
It's classified. You just said it's classified. If I told you, I'd have to kill you.
Exactly. That was it. And I didn't really like it at first, but like every name, I didn't pick it obviously, but I've kind of grown into it and just it's become that's who I am. So it's fine. It works.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
As long as you don't have to pay out royalties for that name, I think you landed
That's
okay.
right.
So
That's right.
it's all good.
Hey, Tommy boy, have you ever pushed one of the chariots with Speed for Need? Have you ever been a part of one of the events?
I tangentially, yes, in the sense that not through Speed for Need, but there's an organization that is a sister organization of Speed for Need, and had the honor of on a 5K was my introduction to it. And in fact, that's how I got segued into. I was wearing my F3 shirt, and somebody said, "You guys know that you're heavily involved with this, right?" So, yeah,
Nice.
and the great question, because what I'd like to do is let you guys set the table and let us know kind of the origin story of Speed for Need, and you guys take it from there.
Okay. Scott, I'll start, and then you jump in whenever you'd like. We started in July 2017. Tolkien and Nash's son, Owen, they had a passion to let him be able to, like you were mentioning earlier, have an opportunity in these events. So they had a passion. They talked to Hoyt, which Hoyt's been very, very helpful with us. That's out of Boston. If people aren't familiar with him. They make the chairs and stuff, and then we just started on the July 4th, 2017 event, pushing Owen. There was, I can't remember how many packs were there, but it was just incredible. Just, I really wasn't hands-on at that point. It was just more of, this thing's going to be awesome. The community's getting served. The opportunities out there for these people that don't have the opportunity like we do.
Yeah.
And then from then on, since 2017, we've pushed over 400 track commanders at 100 plus events, all over. Jack Bauer can talk a little bit more about it. They're in Georgia, but I mean, we've gone from South Carolina to Virginia to North Carolina. I believe that's about as far as we've gone, but we're always looking to expand. It's a great opportunity if you hadn't had a chance to do it, to be able to do this. And we'll jump into that here in a little bit, but Jack Bauer, do you have anything?
Oh yeah, I can talk a little bit about what happened out here in Cherokee with us. And I had heard about Speed for Need. I think I saw it on the website or heard about it in a podcast or something, and then kind of just forgotten about it. And then of course COVID was happening, everything else was going on, and then I think it was around late 2021. I reached out to the guys in Charlotte and said, "Hey, I'm in Atlanta. We would love to do this out here. What do you guys think?" And they're like, "Yeah, sounds great. Come here and get the chairs, and you can do a race." And so, we talked to Gypsy, who's our for expansion for Speed for Need, and he said, "Yeah, actually, we're looking at trying to expand this thing, and Atlanta would be a great place. There's obviously a lot of regions there. A lot of can you guys do at least one race?" So we found a race in October of 2021 that we did our first race, and like Pizza Man was saying, once the packs really experience a race and are out there doing the event, that's when it really catches fire, and that's what happened. The guys were just super excited, and so we talked to Gypsy and the guys at the board some more about, hey, we really want to try to get our own trailer and chairs here in Atlanta, because going to Charlotte back and forth a lot is not really, and that's what they wanted to do too with expanding this thing. So we put together a plan of how we're going to raise money. I formed a board here with some packs that really were passionate about it. The guys locally that really wanted to help do this. We reached to the other regions that are near us in the Atlanta area, like F3 Atlanta, F3 Gwinnett, Alpha, West Cobb, all the local guys. And they were, yeah, let's do this. So we started raising money early in 2022. Was the idea is that, hey, kind of like the starfish idea that just like F3, let's say let's we want to plant a site here in Atlanta, but you got to raise money for the next site and for the next one and for the next one. So they were going to give us the chairs, but we needed to raise the money to fund the next expansion region. So that's what we did. We hit the ground running, and luckily, as you guys know, I mean, we had this whole plan of how we could possibly raise funds, but the packs were just so on fire at the time. I mean, they just really poured into it. And then a lot of the people we had pushed in the October race, their families were all excited about it. So they started donating. So within, I can't remember now, within a couple months, was it over $27,000 we raised? I think really quickly.
Yeah.
And which was
Nice.
fantastic. Yeah, without even promoting any more than just Slack and just word of mouth.
Yeah.
I mean, it just blew up. So the guys were excited. So that showed the board we were very into it. We started scheduling races for 2022. They ordered the chairs. We got them down here, and then just took off from there and just started doing events last year, and then we've got even more events for this year for 2023. And it's been absolutely life changing for the packs around this area, and I'm just very excited about this next season as well.
Yeah,
No doubt.
3 weeks ago, I pushed Daniel in a race down in Rock Hill, South Carolina, called the Come See Me race. And Daniel is a return. He returns. This is every year. He says, "Are you going to push me next year? Are you going to push me in the next race?" And there's just something incredible. Now, I'm not gonna lie to the packs and say it's easy. Pushing those chairs, even though they don't weigh that much. These things are incredible engineering. They don't weigh that much. But when you get a young man in there, and after pushing up a few hills, it gets tough. And so, a little pointer for the guys: when you do have a chariot that you're pushing, you get a guy running next to you. So when you hit a hill, I need you to grab on. Help me get this guy up the hill. But Daniel was just the whole time, "Hey, can we go faster? Can we catch up with that lady? Can we pass that guy up there? I want to go faster." And hey man, I'm just the little engine. I'll see what I can do. I'll push as hard as I can. But Pizza Man, I got a question for you. I've got all kinds of stories. I've enjoyed the heck out of Speed for Need with all the races. Do you have any stories or anything, memories from races past that just kind of stick out to you from Speed for Need and partnership with F3?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's hard to just fathom all the memories because each event you go to, you create new memories. And one of the ones that really stuck out is, I would say, the marathon relay. And the reason
Yeah.
it sticks out is we had all different types of veterans that we pushed, but it wasn't just one region. Y'all were involved. Lake Norman was involved. I mean, there was numerous regions of all about the city. It was a lot of logistical nightmare for Tolkien. I mean, because we were staged at least 5 different locations. We switched out riders, but that event was incredible. Just paying honor to the veterans. So I mean, that sort of goes into it. It doesn't have to be mentally disabled people. I mean, like we've done vets, we've done cancer survivors, people with cancer. So it's just whatever we can do to serve the community and whatever organizations want to be involved. So that's one that really stands out. I mean, I actually have a picture in my office of me pushing, holding a flag, and I mean, it's just it like you said earlier, it's not easy, but the joy of it is whenever somebody turns around and says, "You're going to let them pass you? You can't go faster?" I mean, why do we do that hard thing to do this for other people? You know what I mean? So that's one of the memories I've had. I mean, I've done this since 2017. So I can't wait for future memories. We put the stuff that just happened. We'll get into that a little bit later. We'll make new memories off of that. So that's one memory. But what about you, Jack Bauer?
Yeah, I mean, like you, Pizza Man, I don't have as many years, but a few races that we did. I think the first race is still sticks in my memory. It was very, very moving. We partnered with a local nonprofit that serves individuals with disabilities that are adults. Because once and I don't have a child with a disability, but once you finish high school, they can stay in high school to like 21 or 22 years old when they have disabilities. But there's nowhere for them to go during the day. And these parents are still trying to work and do other things. So there's a lot of these day programs, these nonprofits. So there's one very large. There's actually 3 in our town. There's one that's called Next Step Ministries, and my wife had me working over there at the time, and they happen to do a 5K every year to raise what was a big fundraiser. So it was a perfect matching. I mean, they had more people than we had chairs that wanted to ride in these chairs, obviously. And that's what really appeals to me too about Speed for Need is it doesn't have to be wheelchair users, as Pizza Man was mentioning. It's just people that for some reason they cannot complete the race under their own power, whether they're elder, like he was mentioning, they're going through cancer treatments or surgery, or they have mental or physical disabilities that just kind of wouldn't be able to do it on their own power. So we partnered with them. They had all these riders for us, and you always think about the riders. That's what we always say. We're always focused on the track. We call them the track commanders as our riders, and we're always working, making sure they're doing okay and everything. And then we're there to serve them. But what I didn't realize how much we were serving the parents and the relatives and the families of all these people, and I just didn't think about that. And so as we're starting the race, one of the dads comes up to me because he's older now. He's in his 60s because his child is now in her 30s or 40s. She's much older now, and he said, I used to push her all the time. She's a wheelchair user. I used to push her all the time in these races. I just can't do it anymore. So I'm so glad you guys are here. I'm so glad this organization's here, and it just really hit me because as a father, just knowing that you're helping out another dad was just amazing to me. It's like, man, that made me feel really good. It's like, man, that's why we do this. This is another reason we do this. And then he was like, hey, can I just go with you guys? And so we ended up, the guys didn't even run the race. They ended up just walking the whole race with her. Because again, it's all about them. What's the family want? What's the guys want? And I think that's what Tolkien talks about a lot too. And so does Nash when I first started reaching out to them, is that it's the manifestation of us living third, right? We're behind the chair. We're not going to finish first. Obviously, we're not there to get a PR. We're not there to do anything great. We're there to just take care of the rider. And if they want to walk it, they want to go super fast. If they want it, whatever they want to do is what we're going to do to take care of that family and that rider. And that's been really, really, really helpful with the packs here, especially because some of the guys, they want to ruck. They want to do something else. And so I'm like, no, hey, you can show up and help us set up the tent. You can do other things. There's other things you can do besides just have to push real fast during a 5K. But that's not your thing, which is fine. So that's why I really like this organization.
Pizza Man, I didn't put this on the questions. I didn't put this on the questions, but hey, what's the slogan? What's the question that's on the back of those shirts?
Who pushes who?
That's it, man. Who pushes who?
And that's what you think about whenever you're running. It's or walking or whatever. You're doing something. You're serving another individual, and it's just who. Because I finished multiple races, and the joy you get for seeing their smile and hearing them cross the finish line, and just seeing excitement, you putting a medal on their neck is incredible.
Arms up, crossing the finish line.
Up. I mean, I have chills right now just thinking about it. I mean, it's there's no words that can fathom your feeling after you do an event like this, honestly. So.
Yeah, you guys hit the nail on the head. There's, I'm living in that world now as far as my man and seeing a family be able to be a family rather than kind of almost like a caregiver superseding being a parent, right? And the weight that is lifted off their shoulder, knowing that they're amongst a great group of people. Their children, their adult children are having fun. And they can go out and have fun too, knowing that everybody's in great hands, right? It's a powerful statement. Whether it's seeing Speed for Need finish a race, everybody's seen the Team Hoyt stories of the father-son that do triathlons together to the point where, Father Hoyt got in such great shape, suffered a massive heart attack. It would have killed him had he not gotten in shape. So who is pushing who indeed, right? So I love it. I love those tales that come out of the backside of just crossing the finish line, right? And it's phenomenal. Because the next question I was going to ask is, why should a guy do that? Fellas, if you don't have a why you should do it after hearing all that, turn your volume knob up because you're not listening. So I'll segue into this. The guys who are fired up too, they have their why, they want to get involved. What does that look like? What should a region do? How do they start the process?
Okay, I'll start off on this, Jack. With us, I'm the director of logistics for Speed for Need. So there's multiple ways I would suggest is if you have an event that you're looking to do, try to reach out to the race director and just see if they're even accommodating Speed for Need, because there's some races where the course might not be set up for us to even accommodate a Speed for Need chariot. So that's the first thing. So you're not spinning your wheels and wasting your time. If they do accept it and want to go that route, then I would suggest filling out an event request form on speedforneed.org. It's very easy to find. It's very easy form, and what it does, it'll send a request form to myself. I'll get in contact. We'll do a little bit deeper stuff. Whether you need, because track commanders are tough to find. Either, like IJ mentioned earlier, you might have the same ones doing it over and over again, but if you're in an area that's never done one, finding them you might need some help. So we have a list of them that we've used in the past, that would want to come out and, you know, be a part of an event. So just working, just communication factor between the Speed for Need board and the event host would be the ideal thing.
Makes sense. Yeah, because you have the lovely job of taking care of all the things nobody else thinks about, right? So
yeah, and I love it, man. I love it. Like I told you before we came on air, I love being the backbone behind the scenes. They just, oh, how'd this happen? Well, I don't know. It's a miracle, man.
Yeah, it's a miracle. Amen to that. Amen to that. I think you covered kind of logistics there. And you fellas, of course, we're going to include the website in the show notes. So no need to go hopping on the Googles. You just click the link that's in your magic phone machine that's playing this podcast.
And take some time to watch. Take time to watch some of the YouTube videos or some of the clips from local media. It is incredible. We didn't mention this, and I got to say this before we go to the next question. Pizza Man, my favorite memory from that marathon, that Charlotte Marathon pushing the vets, was at the end of the race. It's the last quarter mile of the race, and Dredd is pushing a veteran, and there's a look on Dredd, Frank.
Yeah.
There's a look on Dredd's face where he has this, I'm going to finish this hell or high water, and I'm going to push it harder than I've ever pushed it. And there's pain in his face. And on Frank's face, there's complete and total joy. They cross the finish line. Dredd walks over, hands Frank a flag, and salutes him. Yep. Veteran to veteran. Dude, you want to talk about chills and tears?
Mm-hmm.
It's just cutting onions, man. Cutting onions. And it was incredible. Incredible stuff.
Yep. I totally agree.
Yeah, I'm glad
you brought that up. These are those moments. Yeah, go ahead, Jack Bauer.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, I was going to say that you were mentioning earlier about if other regions are interested, but like what Italian Job just mentioned, there's lots of YouTube videos out there. There's a whole channel. Tolkien made a lot of videos, but the website's full of great FAQs. Also, frequently asked questions. There's an event queue handbook that's out there. The Don Ho and the guys that made the website really did put a lot of work into it, and that's where I went when I first started getting interested. And it has a lot of good stuff. And then there's a calendar on there too of all the current races that are set up. Hopefully there's one near you. You can hit the guy that's on there that is the event queue, or just reach out to one of us or email the Speed for Need, and we can try to attend a race is what I would have guessed. Hopefully there's one around you, and you can go to that, check it out, and then kind of decide from there if it's something you want to try to bring to your region. Yeah.
It's a great website. Like IJ said, there's a lot of great content too on YouTube. I think Tolkien has a career in documenting things. Call me crazy, but the guy seems to have a gift. I hope he's got a gift.
He's good at it.
Yeah, we're talking about, at the end of the day, talking about the idea of finding a need, filling a need. And every day, you guys are in the trenches doing exactly that. For others, IJ, I want to hand it over to you because this week is a perfect opportunity, unfortunately, to find a need, fill a need for Speed for Need. So why don't you take it from there?
I saw the morning of, I was in Sandlot Jackson. I started getting text messages from friends of mine, but I also started seeing messages on Twitter, and something terrible happened in Charlotte. There is a box trailer that says Speed for Need all over the side of it, and that's where the chariots are stored, and it's stored inside of a locked facility. And on a Wednesday evening, about almost a week and a half ago or so, two people broke in and stole that trailer and all of the chariots that were inside. Now, these chariots are not something you just go and pick up at a store somewhere. So, Pizza Man, provide some context. What was taken? What was the value? And what can the packs around the nation, especially in the southeast, where this trailer may be and the chariots might be, like, what's the scenario and how can guys help to kind of ascertain or get some information out if they see something to say something?
That we're going to be missed. That's the main thing. So, just keep that in mind. Just say a prayer for that. But so like you mentioned, there was 5 chairs in our trailer. It's a solid black trailer. So, there are F3 logos on it, but it looks like your standard general contractor trailer. It was in a gated lot. So, I don't know. It's just very frustrating. But those chairs are roughly about $5,000 a piece. So we had 5 of them. So there's your 25,000 plus we give medals, we give shirts. Shirts are available at every event, 4 packs if they want to purchase them. So just miscellaneous parts. It's just, I mean, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, it's just, it's very disheartening because, I mean, I've been going through the process and praying about it, and what they thought whenever they opened the trailer and saw that, it's like, So, first of all, I would say the best way to help would just be like Jack Bauer said. Look at the Georgia calendar, North Carolina calendar. We're still hosting events. It didn't stop us. Trust me, it's not going to stop us. So I'm going next week to get the trailer from Columbia to send to Spruce Pine for the Run for Holland guys. They're a great organization. Spruce Pine's not too far from the Charlotte area, whatnot. White Lightning, it's their group. So if you're interested in that, hit me up. Hit White Lightning up. Sorry for blowing you up, White Lightning, but it's a great opportunity. And then it'll go back to Columbia for Thumbs Up and Easy Street to do an event down there. So it's a speed bump. Why do we do hard things? To prepare us for struggles like this. It's not going to stop us. It's going to hit the brakes for a second, but we're going to find a way to do it. So I would say, first off, just try to find an event to go to, participate, show your face with that. And then elsewhere, I mean, there's plenty of opportunities with, I mean, at the lot, at doing maintenance on chairs. A lot of behind the scenes stuff gets going on that the chairs just don't happen to appear. You know, whether it's you take initiative and go drive an hour and a half and pick the trailer up, that's just as good as, I mean, you're doing him things. You know what I mean? You're making an impact. But I mean, there's also ways, if you feel the need to donate, there's a link on our website, donations. You know, we're not asking. You know what I mean? If you feel obligated, that's what you want to do, then go for it. You know, all that will go to the economic cost of this, all this stuff, and you know, it takes a lot to run this. You know, so that's the way I would say help. What about you, Jack Bauer?
Yeah, I agree with all that. I think you know, just like F3, I mean, we're 100% volunteer led. I mean, we got, none of us are making a salary or any dime on this at all. So all the money you do donate goes 100% goes to the maintenance of the chairs, the trailer, to the track commanders in some way, paying for race fees, paying for other things directly to support the mission. So if you do feel, I mean, this is going to be, you know, somewhat of an economic impact on us, but we'll be all right. But if you, on the website, there's a donate link. Some packs have been, the Savannah guys right now, the Coastal Empire, are trying to raise funds anyways too to support their expansion in their area. So if you want to help with that, that, you know, always helps. I mean, these things don't come cheap, as he mentioned. Pizza Man mentioned these chairs are, you know, are $5,000 a piece, and there's a good reason we do that. We love the Hoyt story. We love the Hoyt chairs. We definitely want to keep supporting that organization. It kind of lines up with our mission, anyways, what we're trying to do, and so that's why you know, we really like to use those chairs. But I think what separates us, as you guys have mentioned, there's, you know, other organizations out there that do this, is F3. I mean, without the power of the F3 nation, this doesn't work. I mean, it's in our mission statement. If we don't have F3, then Speed for Need just is going to go away, kind of thing. So we need the packs to, you know, like, as simple as praying, as simple as just think about us showing up at an event, helping out. Donations obviously help, but anything they can do, you know, that they're our best resources is F3.
Yeah, well said.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, it's your time, your touch, your treasure, your talents, right? And whether it's spotting the 50 or it's meeting the guy halfway and towing the trailer and handing it off and waving, you know, fond farewell. There's always a way, which is a natural byproduct of finding ways to live third and serve others. You always find a way, miraculously. We can get stuck in our own heads when it comes to solving our own problems, but man, you have an opportunity to serve another individual. It just seems like it's a no-brainer. The answers just keep flowing. I dig it. Fellas, I can't thank you enough for coming on. Again, we're going to link the website in the show notes. You fellas who are listening can just click in. Take some time. If you need a good pick-me-up, take some time to watch a video or two. You'll be ready to run through walls. Italian Job, as always, I'm going to put the pressure on you to land the plane, my friend.
All right. So there's an African proverb that I've quoted in the past. It says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So in life, we never succeed alone. It's just not possible. Every civilization that's has survived because of the impact of people taking care of each other, stepping in. I may not be able to hunt, but I can gather. You find your spot and you help out. The only way we survive is by doing things together. The only way that Speed for Need survives is by men stepping up and pushing and having folks in the chair who push them right back. So find your people, find the challenge, and challenge each other to achieve great things, because you can do so much more and go so much farther together than you can on your own merits, on your own strength, and on your own speed. If there's anything that personifies what it means to go together, it's Speed for Need. So help these men out if you can, and get involved in one of these races. It will absolutely change your viewpoint on crossing that finish line. It is an incredible experience. It's one of my favorite things that I've ever participated in, from a fitness, from the challenge aspect, but from the mental peace and the emotional connection you have with the folks who are in those chairs. It is incredible. Sign up to be involved. Do this thing and watch how much better your outcome or an outlook on things can be. So TB, a lot of word salad there that just basically says, as you like to say, find a need and fill it, doing the right thing. Men, thank you so much. Jack Bauer, Pizza Man, thank you guys for being the high impact men that we need to lead efforts like this. Tommy Boy, I love all you men. Hope you have a great week. And Tommy Boy, you got to close it out in your standard fashion. I don't want to step on your toes, so I shall bow to you, sir.
I will echo the sentiment. Jack Bauer, thanks for carving out time. Pizza Man, thanks for inspiring my lunch decision. And Podpraxers, be good or be good at it.